Hi guys, welcome to Shoelace in Summerland, the place where stray thoughts find a knot and wander into wonder. Here, we tie together everyday sparks with wild imagination and ask, what if the world worked just a little differently? So lace up, lean in, and let's explore another idea.
Today, we're getting into something that's, well, it's about more than just clothes. It touches on our economy, lifestyle, the planet itself. We're talking sustainable dressing. And within that, a pretty radical idea, actually. What if uniforms were mandatory across all work sectors?
It's a big one.
Yeah. I mean, we're living in this age of fast fashion, right? Constant consumption. Closets are full, but we still feel that pull for something new.
Always.
So what if our whole approach could change? What if one kind of bold shift could really impact our spending, sure, but also whole industries and the environment?
It's fascinating to think about the scale.
Exactly. So that's our mission for this deep dive. Explore the ripple effects of this uniform idea and sustainable dressing more broadly. Let's dive in.
Okay.
So first off, sustainable dressing. It's more than a buzzword, right? What are we actually talking about here?
Well, fundamentally, it's about making clothing choices that minimize harm, environmental harm, social harm, across the whole life of the garment.
Okay, so practically speaking.
It means things like buying fewer clothes, but making sure they're higher quality, things that are built to last.
Right, not disposable.
Exactly. And choosing better materials.
Yeah.
Maybe organic fabrics, recycled ones, supporting brands that, treat their workers ethically. And crucially, it's about the after part too. Repairing clothes, reusing them, donating them properly, instead of just, tossing them out.
So it's kind of a shift to a more minimalist, need-based approach. Less about trends, more about longevity.
Precisely. And what's really powerful here, I think, is that it's not just about individual choices, those matter. It's a systemic shift.
How so?
We're moving away from this hyper-fast consumption cycle, disposable fashion, towards something more thoughtful, more enduring. And for you, the listener, participating in this, well, it helps stabilize global consumption, reduce resource use. It's about building a more resilient system for everyone, really.
Okay, so with that foundation, let's get into the really provocative bit. This idea of universal work uniforms.
Right.
Imagine everyone, CEO, barista, nurse, teacher, everyone wearing a designated uniform for work. It's quite a thought.
It definitely stops you for a second.
Yeah. And the immediate effect is obvious, right? Standardized work clothes, much smaller personal wardrobes needed, demand for typical office fashion just drops.
Absolutely.
But what are the maybe less obvious benefits? You mentioned things like equality, simplifying life.
Yes, I think that's where it gets really interesting. For you personally, think about the psychological side. No more, what do I wear today? Stress every single morning. No more pressure to keep up with the latest office trends.
Right, that mental energy.
Exactly. That decision fatigue. Studies suggest people spend, 15, 20 minutes a day just on work outfits. That adds up. You free up that mental space.
Interesting. And the equality angle.
Well, uniforms act as a kind of subtle equalizer in the workplace, don't they? When those outward signs of income or status are less visible through clothing, the focus can shift more towards competence, collaboration, what people actually do. It could foster a more equitable environment.
I see. So, okay, let's say this happens. This uniform idea starts to gain traction. What's the immediate shockwave in the fashion industry itself?
Oh, it would be profound. A complete reshaping.
Certain parts would shrink, presumably. Fast fashion seems like the obvious one.
Absolutely. Fast fashion relies on rapid trends, high volume. That demand would just, evaporate for workwear.
And regular casual wear, office wear?
That whole sector shrinks dramatically too.
Yeah.
The culture of needing multiple outfits for the work week, largely gone.
Which means less business for retail chains, lower footfall.
Precisely. Major contraction there. But, and this is key, the industry wouldn't just disappear.
It would transform.
Exactly. It would metamorphose. The demand shifts. You'd see a massive surge in specialized uniform manufacturing.
Okay. Focused on durability, function.
Yes. Standardized, incredibly durable, functional workwear becomes the priority. And this pushes innovation in sustainable textiles.
So organic cotton, recycled fibers, they become mainstream?
Not just mainstream, but the standard. Demand skyrockets. And another interesting shift, I think, would be towards tailoring and custom fit.
Really? Why is that?
Well, if you have fewer items overall, you want them to fit perfectly, right? Comfort and precise sizing become huge value drivers. It's a definite pivot from quantity to quality, focus on the individual fit.
Okay, that makes sense. So the industry reshapes. What about the broader economy, our wallets, jobs?
Well, on the job front, you definitely see a reallocation.
A shift away from fashion retail, maybe traditional design.
Right. Towards roles in uniform production, logistics, sustainable textile development, maybe even advanced repair services.
And you mentioned local manufacturing.
Yeah, there's real potential there. Think about bulk uniform contracts for businesses, schools, public sector jobs. That could really boost local tailoring shops, smaller textile units.
Okay. And for households, what's the impact on, everyday spending?
This is a big one, I think. For you listening, imagine spending significantly less on clothing each year.
Yeah, that would free up income.
A lot of income for many families, money for other needs, savings, education, whatever it might be. And zooming out, this could stabilize consumption patterns across the economy.
How do you mean stabilize?
We'd move away from these sort of impulse-driven fashion cycles, chasing trends, towards more planned, essential purchasing for workwear at least.
Less stress around consumption too, maybe.
Definitely. Less pressure, more predictability. It contributes to financial well-being on a personal level and potentially a more stable economic landscape overall.
Got it. So beyond the money, beyond the industry shifts, the planet, what are the big environmental wins here?
The environmental benefits are huge and they're all interconnected.
Okay, like what? Less waste?
Dramatically less waste. If wardrobe turnover plummets, far less clothing ends up in landfills. That's massive.
And production impact? Water, chemicals.
Reduced significantly. Lower production volume means less water used, fewer toxic dyes, and chemicals polluting waterways.
Energy savings too, I assume. Less manufacturing, transport.
Absolutely. Less energy needed for making clothes, packaging them, shipping them globally. That translates to lower carbon emissions.
And you mentioned durability. That links to the circular economy.
Precisely. The focus shifts to making things last. Repair becomes more common. Reuse is built in. It embeds those circular principles using resources much more efficiently.
It sounds like a powerful, multi-pronged positive impact.
It really is. Each benefit reinforces the others. Less demand means less extraction, less pollution from the start. Longevity means less waste at the end. It's a much healthier system for the planet.
This feels like more than just clothes, then. It's a shift in how we live, how we consume.
Completely. A move towards sustainable dressing, especially this uniform idea, it encourages a kind of mindful living. It actually echoes simpler traditions from many cultures, historically.
That's interesting. What sort of cultural implications are we talking about?
Well, you could see a revival of interest in, say, indigenous fabrics, handlooms, traditional weaves, natural dyes.
Ah, like a reconnection with heritage crafts.
Potentially, yes. Imagine renewed appreciation for things like hand-spun cottons or local wools or specific regional techniques. Beyond that, think about the social pressure aspect.
The pressure to dress a certain way, keep up with trends.
Exactly. Uniforms largely remove that, at least in the work context. That reduction in pressure and constantly needing external validation through clothes can genuinely boost mental well-being. Less stress.
Well, what about personal expression? Doesn't that get lost?
That's the big question, isn't it? And a really important one. If workwear is standardized, where does identity expression happen through clothing?
Maybe in leisure wear? Accessories?
Perhaps. Or maybe the focus shifts entirely. Maybe identity gets expressed more through our actions, our hobbies, our contributions, rather than primarily through what we buy and wear to work. It challenges us, It encourages you, the listener, to think about how we construct identity and what truly matters beyond the material. It's a deep cultural question.
Okay, so for you listening, and the takeaway is by being more thoughtful about fashion choices.
You save money, reduce clutter, sure,
Right.
but you also actively contribute to something better, a greener world, a more balanced system.
A dual benefit, really.
Exactly. And maybe one last thought to leave people with.
So for it.
If uniforms could simplify our work lives and bring all these potential benefits we've discussed, what other areas of our lives might benefit from a similar approach? A bit more standardization, maybe, or minimalism to boost sustainability and well-being.
That is a provocative thought. Something to definitely mull over.
Thanks for wandering through another idea with me here in Shoelace in Summerland. If you love this little thought trail, give it a like, share it with your fellow wanderers, and don't forget to subscribe for creative ideas. See you in the next video with a brand new idea. Bye-bye.